What if we put Huntrix from K-pop Drmon Hunters into another world of potentially more powerful demons, such as the Hellaverse? What's going on, you guys? I'm Lunas the Embryon, and in this video, we're going to be going over each member of Huntrix, each hierarchy in the Hellaverse, how powerful each hierarchy is, and determine whether or not Huntrix could beat the entire hierarchy and make their way up to Lucifer. And also, a quick disclaimer, we're only going to be looking at Hell's hierarchy, so we're not going to be including anything from Heaven. Also, this video is inspired by Goji Chronic, who has made a similar video like this but replaced with Doomslayer. And I definitely recommend you check out that video after this one, of course. And also, before we get into this, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and click the bell icon to be notified when a brand new video is released or a new Hellaverse is short, and comment down below some new matchups that you guys would like to see. But without any further delay, let's get into the backstory of Huntrix. Huntrix is a K-pop group consisting of 3 famous singers that perform by day and slay demons by night in order to protect humanity by harnessing the power of music throughout a spiritual barrier called the Hunmoon. The members consist of Rumi, Zoe, and Mira. But what people don't know, especially Zoe and Mira, is that Rumi is actually half demon. Once a group of demons disguised as a K-pop boy band called the Staja Boys steal Huntrix fans to steal their souls, and Jinu betrays Rumi, her patterns start to reveal even more, and the demon king Guima starts feasting on everyone's souls. Until Rumi comes back, Huntrix comes back together and ultimately defeat Guima and save the day. Now, each member of Huntrix are skilled and strong fighters by themselves, with all them being able to see spirits and the spiritual energy flowing from the Hunmoon, and all of them being able to use spirit magic, conjure their weapons, and empower themselves with the souls of their fans in order to create energy barriers and make their weapons even stronger. And each member has their own signature weapons, Mira having a spear, Zoe having her shinkals, and Rumi having her signature sword, with her sword being able to create a powerful long-range slash for large amounts of soul energy from her fans, which may suggest that Rumi's sword is the strongest weapon from Huntrix. Unfortunately, it's hard to calculate their AP due to them not having any explicit feats throughout the movie, but all of them have shown that they can be pretty fast, suggesting that they are bullet timers, which would also give them superhuman speed. And as for their durability, they can take a few hits, but they don't have the same durability as some of the other demons, like when Rumi gets hurt from Jinu's slash attack, which could imply that they have superhuman to just regular durability. Now that we covered Huntrix, let's head over to the Hellaverse. Now, there are a total of 9 tiers in Hell's hierarchy, with Hellhounds being at the very bottom and Lucifer being at the very top. So we're going to go over each tier and discuss how strong they are, starting off with Hellhounds. And Luna is basically the only Hellhound that has any feats, since there aren't really any other Hellhounds that has any feats at all. So we're just going to go for Luna as the base. Anyways, Luna has shown that she is a fast Hellhound, able to dodge bullets just like all the other members of IMP, and has shown that she can overpower other skilled humans. And probably her best feat is when she drew blood from Andrea when she bit his throat. She also has the ability to turn into an actual Hellhound during that same fight, which could potentially give her wall level AP. Next up on the list, we have Imps, and IMP and Striker are the best examples of an Imp's power, with all of them being bullet timers and are extremely skilled with guns, with Millie being the strongest member of IMP, able to break and go through walls and can rip apart loan sharks' skulls out of their heads with ease. And Striker is strong enough to take on Millie and Moxie at the same time, and also kind of struggled with Blitz during that fight. All of them, again, are all bullet timers, able to dodge bullets. And Blitz also has a backpack full of a bunch of different weapons, including a giant bazooka, which could definitely give them small to large building AP, with that fact considered. Next up, we have Hellborns, with Ronaldo being the only good example, as other Hellborns in the show don't really have any feats or fighting skills. Anyways, he's able to go toe-to-toe with Blitz and Millie at the same time, which, as stated earlier, could at least be wall level, and is also fast enough to dodge bullets. But the thing that separates him from other Hellborns is his ability to warp reality around him, and also possess other demons, just like how he did with Blitz. This could also give him small building level AP, but he also doesn't really show any other feats to go off of. Now let's move on to sinners, and from this point forward we're going into the demons that need special weapons to permanently kill them, starting with sinners. And some sinners range in power, and some of them being wall level and some of them potentially being large building level. And some have different weapons like guns, knives, bombs, and even explosive like husks and dice bombs. And there are some sinners that can move their way up to overlords, but we'll get to them later. Some notable sinners include Husk with his agility and weapons such as his cards that can slice through other demons in half, and bombs that can blow off heads. Angel with his experience with guns and able to use 6 guns at the same time with 6 extra arms. Cherry Bomb with her specialty being explosive, and Serpentious with his intellect and mass amounts of weapons. And some of these guys are wall level, and some others, more specifically Serpentious with his weapons and Cherry Bomb with her bombs, and could potentially be small to large building level. Next up on the hierarchy are overlords. Think of them as the more powerful sinners, and these guys are some of the more powerful demons in the Hellaverse. Notable ones include Alistair, who was stated to have taken down overlords that ruled Pentagram City for centuries, Vox, with him potentially being on the same level as Alistair, and stated that he barely beat him in a fight. Zestiel, and stated to be the oldest overlord in Pentagram City, and Carmilla, with her agility and the fact that she wears angelic heels, which would also give her an advantage against other angels and demons as well. Now, Carmilla and Alistair may have the best feats, but with Alistair, his feats are just statements that are told to us rather than actually shown within the show, with his only on-screen feat being his fight against Adam, a fight that he lost to, and Carmilla's only feat killing an exorcist's head off. And also, if you want to learn more about their powers, I'd recommend watching these episodes of Hellaverses for more info. Next up are the Ars Goetia. Unfortunately, we only have 2 members to go off of, Stolas and Andrea. Stolas has shown that he's fast enough to dodge bullets, burst through walls, and also able to possess people. And even without his powers, he can still hold his own. I mean, just ask Andrea himself. Andrea himself is also pretty powerful, able to create a giant ice hydra, make icicles to deal with multiple foes at once, and also shows that he has regenerative abilities. And see in this clip how Luna then bit him in the throat and drew black blood, and then immediately after there were no scars or blood after. Then and I bet you guys are wanting me to cover this part, Stolas destroying a solar system. Now I'm not actually going to cover this as a feat that he did, since some people say that Stolas didn't actually destroy this solar system, but simply came across an already dying one already. Now, I know this is a bit controversial, but I won't be covering this feat since it's unclear if Stolas was directly responsible for this. Next up are the 7 deadly sins, and unfortunately for these guys, none of them have any feats whatsoever. This is the main problem for them, since they're basically the only members of Hell's hierarchy that does not have a single feat for themselves. And also, I'm not covering Lucifer on this tier, I'm covering him in his own tier. So let's just say that Satan is the strongest sin. Even then, he does not have any feats for himself. Next up, we have Charlie. Yes, I know Lilith is a part of this tier, but she doesn't have any feats for herself. Charlie, due to her being the daughter of Lucifer, is one of Hell's few magic users, which gives her the edge against other demons. However, the problem with this is that she barely showcases any of her powers, and her best feat is going up against Adam, who potentially is mountain level, due to him slicing the Hazbin Hotel and the cliffside in half. And it's shown that she fought him for a while before succumbing to his wrath, and also stopped a punch from him, after he destroyed Alistair's force field with that same punch as well. So it's hard to scale her since she isn't really a fighter, and she rarely ever uses her powers at her full potential. And finally, we have the big man himself, Lucifer. And he's considered to be the most powerful being in Hell, since he has many different abilities that some other demons don't have, like summoning any objects at will, flight, potential reality warping abilities, shapeshifting, etc. Although it's unclear what his shapeshifting abilities are capable of, if he can shapeshift to the same extent as someone like the devil from Cuphead, where he can shapeshift into any type of animal imaginable, Lucifer has shown that he can change it to a snake, a bird, an octopus, and a horse. But let's just say that for this, he can change into any animal that he wants to. And he's also able to beat Adam without any angelic weapons, showing that in their fight that he was toying with him and not really taking the fight seriously, suggesting that he's on the same par or even stronger than Adam. Now that we've covered each tier, let's find out if Huntrix has what it takes to beat this version of Hell. Before we go further into the video, I just want to make sure you guys are watching this video are subscribed to the channel, as only 7.9% of you guys watching are subscribed right now. So please change that and subscribe to the channel so we can hit 100,000 subs by the end of this year. And if we do reach this milestone, I'll give you guys a small little reward as a thank you in the form of a face reveal. So thanks again, and now back to the video. Starting off with Imps and Hellhounds, and I think they have a pretty good chance against them, since they can fight against large crowds of foes, and Huntrix has shown that they have the advantage against these guys in Hellborns due to them being weak to everyday weapons, unlike Sinners and above who need angelic weapons to kill them. The only thing that could give Imps the advantage here is the fact that Huntrix never really faced any demons like these guys, who are just as quick as them, and also uses guns and long-range weapons, or close range I should say. Then, not to some imps like Striker, who would also use this lasso to disarm Huntrix, Millie, who could just rip their skulls out, and Blitz, who has shown that he has a backpack full of other weapons and explosives. But let's just say that IMP, Luna, and Striker have their basic weapons like their guns and melee weapons. And here, I think Huntrix could have a chance against beating these guys, but not without dealing damage to themselves. So with low to mid difficulty, Huntrix moves on. Next up are Hellborns, so we'll use Ronaldo as an example here. Now this may be really tricky since he can alter reality and possess other demons, so it's safe to say that he can alter reality for each or one member of Huntrix and possess one of them to fight the others. But Ronaldo does show that he tries way too hard to belittle his foes, and that would ultimately backfire against him. And considering the healthy relationship with each member of Huntrix, it's possible that he could beat and kill them. But if he does try to possess one member, and it would also cost that one member to be severely injured. So with mid difficulty, Huntrix moves on. Now we're going into the demons that can die from normal weapons, starting off with the Sinners. These guys could definitely give Huntrix some trouble, due to their weapons not being able to kill them. Although they can definitely hurt them, they don't really have a way to permanently kill them, especially with other Sinners that can fly like Husk. But with some of their weapons like Zoe's weapons, with good aim, could definitely catch flying demons if aimed at a crucial spot like their wings. So it's possible that Huntrix could beat them, especially since they fought large amounts of demons before. So with mid to high difficulty, Huntrix moves on. Now this is one that might be interesting, with the overlords. Some notable overlords included Alistair, Vox, Carmilla, and Zestial. Huntrix could beat Zestial simply due to him not having any notable feats of his own, and Vox currently doesn't have any other notable feats other than beating Alistair, although that's basically just a statement. But Alistair and Carmilla might actually give Huntrix a good fight here, with Carmilla having good physicality and her being a good physical fighter, and Alistair having many abilities that Huntrix never faced before, like shadow minions and shadow tentacles, or simply growing into a giant. Now personally, I think these two could definitely give Huntrix a run for their money, since none of the other overlords have any noticeable feats. And also for me, I think that Huntrix could barely make it out of this fight, mainly with Alistair. You can kind of think of that fight as Alistair's fight against Adam, but just replace Adam with Rumi. Now let's just say that their weapons can definitely slice through Alistair's shadow tentacles and his shadow demons, and that Rumi's weapons also has that long-range shockwave attack. Then if this does happen, it could definitely handicap Alistair, especially if it goes through his cane, due to his staff concealing all of his powers. But they definitely could not be able to kill him, since even if their weapons could slice through his shadow attacks, their weapons can't kill him. But Carmilla might be a bit of a different story, and due to her being a very skilled fighter with excellent agility and her sharp heels that can slice an angel's head in half with ease. But now let's just say that her angelic weapons can hurt a human in the same way that they can hurt an angel or a demon. Huntrix might be in a bit of a trouble here, since she may have more experience than Huntrix, and also may fare into their weaknesses. But with this fight being a 3v1 in play, Carmilla could potentially lose this fight. So with high to extreme difficulty, Huntrix barely passes. Next up, we got the Ars Goetia, which has Stolas and Andrea. Now I think this fight is one that they might fail against, more specifically with Andrea, simply because of the Ice Hydra and his regenerative abilities. If he can regenerate from a Hellhound bite, he can definitely survive a slice or a stab from one of Huntrix's weapons. And with his Hydra being able to regrow its heads, and those heads can go after each member one by one. And also I think that Stolas might not do as well as Andrea, since he barely shows off any of his powers as well. But I also think he might do well, just not as well as Andrea or his Hydra. So this is where I think Huntrix might stop in the Hellaverse gauntlet. But let's just go over the other tiers just for fun and see how well they go. Now this, I'm only saying that Huntrix beats the 7 deadly sins only because that none of them have any noticeable feats, or feats in general. I personally don't think that this fight would happen, although I do like this comment that someone made. But even if they did, I still kind of think that Charlie would barely win this fight, simply because of her many different abilities. Now this one might be tricky since Huntrix never really fought anyone like Lucifer, who can fly, shapeshift, and also has potential reality warping abilities. So just on that, I'd say that Lucifer wins this. Alright, now there you have it folks. Huntrix could potentially stop at the Ars Goetia or Lucifer, since some of the other sins don't have any other feats, and also I don't think that they would fight against Charlie. So there you go. Do you guys think Huntrix would beat the Hellaverse? Let me know down in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel as I cover a bunch of different topics on this channel, like Hellaverse matchups, death battle videos, and also brand new what if scenarios. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for those types of videos. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Subscribe, help me get a brick!